Hi, Michelle Rover here, and this is the third of my Navigating the Holidays video. And today we're talking about mindset. Now, I'm outside on this crappy New England day in the rain rather than the snow up here in the North Country where we really want the snow, because I wanted to place myself in an uncomfortable environment, a place that I necessarily didn't want to be, out in the rain on a cold day. Because that's often where we place ourselves every single day in the holiday season, in situations and in places that we wish we weren't. Now, I have a choice. I can go in my beautiful warm house and I can sit there and work, and I could do that video in here, but I'm proving a point. Okay? We all have a choice. We all have a choice every moment of every day. We have a choice to create what we want. And the way that you create the best choices for yourself to feel the best is to create and make a decision from a good feeling place. So if you're feeling really crappy and you're feeling really stressed out and you're feeling really overwhelmed, when you decide upon something within that feeling, what do you think you're going to do? Are you going to choose something that supports feeling good? Or are you going to choose something that supports feeling bad? So if you're overwhelmed and stressed out, many times we avoid making decisions, or we react and decide just spontaneously without even thinking, just to shut someone up, just because we can do it better ourselves, just because it's more work to try to explain, okay? When in fact, if we just did a little bit of breathing, or took a little bit of a walk, or took a moment to think, or employed my favorite strategy that I share with all of my clients, the say no first strategy. So when something comes up, okay, even if you're overwhelmed and even if you're rushed, all right, and someone's asking you to do one more thing, to make one more batch of cookies, to go to one more party, to take on one more project, to go to one more meeting, okay, when it's an extraneous responsibility and you can feel the resistance within yourself building up, and you feel every cell in your body that you're going to react and you're going to do what you always do and say yes. I want you to say no. It's the say no first strategy. I don't mean that the ultimate answer is going to be no. I mean that for now, you say no. So when so-and-so comes up to you and says, Mary, John, whoever, whatever your name is, Michelle, do you think you could make one more, appetizer for the party? Do you think you could show up at my opening for my new gallery? Do you think that you could do this report for me because I'm really busy and I have family coming up? What you do is you say, oh geez, I'm so sorry. Right now I have to say no. And that's where you stop. You say no. You say no first. Now what does that do? What it does is it buys you some time. Okay, it buys you time to analyze what it is that you really want. Okay, so if it's something that's super important, all right, that lines up with your job, all right, you're getting paid for it, or it's someone who's near and dear to your heart and they never ask you for anything and it would make you feel better rather than worse to do this, then after you say no, you can go back and say, you know what? I've rethought this, I moved some stuff around in my schedule, and I am so happy to be able to say yes to help you out. Or you can take that time and you can modify it. Someone just asked me to help them out doing a volunteer project, and they asked me for 2 days a week, a couple hours, 2 days a week. Now, it was something that was really special to me, but I have a lot going on, lots of stuff that I love. But I did want to do this. So what I said was, well, I have 1 hour a week available on this day. Okay, so I looked at my own schedule. Would that help you? And they were so appreciative. Okay, so I put it in my schedule. So instead of 4 hours a week, it's 1. And it's on a day that served me in my schedule. So it's not offering me any stress. In fact, it's making me feel good. Even though, yes, it was one more thing on my plate, but it was such a feel-good thing for me to do. And it had other benefits that applied to the holidays and to my family, that the yes was an easy one after I said no first. Okay, so that's what I want you to do, is that simple strategy. It works so great. And there are 2 things that are going on there. One, okay, you're creating a new pattern. Okay, because every cell in your body is going to scream at you to say yes right away, because that's what you normally do, right? Or you react. But this changes the pattern and makes you say no. Yeah, you might feel selfish, and yeah, you might feel uncomfortable like I am outside here in this cold, rainy weather. But you're developing new neural pathways. You are embarking upon a whole new behavior. And guess what? When you do that and you take the time to honor yourself and honor your schedule and line up with what you want, you end up feeling better and less overwhelmed. And when you feel less overwhelmed, you can focus more. And when you can focus more, you make better decisions. And when you make better decisions that serve you and that line up with what you want to happen, you feel better. And when you feel better, you create so much more of a happy life and happy experiences because your energy, okay, is so lined up with what you want. So saying no does all of that. It's the beginning of creating new boundaries for yourself and not against anyone else. So when you're saying no, the second thing that's happening, or the third, I forget where I am now, is that, okay, you are allowing other people to assume responsibility for what they've taken on. And this isn't you taking responsibility. This is you assuming responsibility for yourself. And in doing that, you allow others that you care about to assume the responsibility of their own choices, whether you play with them or not. Okay? And that actually is an awesome situation, because what a loving gift to give someone. The gift of responsibility without shoving it in their face. All you're doing is simply saying no for now, or no for good, whatever it is, and you're operating from there. And even if they don't like it, it doesn't matter, okay? Because if you're coming from that place, you can still love them. You can still do something else for them. So saying no doesn't mean anything other than it's no for now, and you're seeing how you line up with it. So when you have these obligations come up for the holidays, and you have these people that maybe you do or you don't want to spend time with, okay, I want you to look at your schedule right now. Here's this strategy number 2, or technique number 2. Write down all of your obligations from now through the holiday. Okay, whoever you are, whatever your celebration is, it doesn't matter. What are your obligations? Write them down. And then beside each one of those, and you have to write them down. You can't do it up here because this is crazy land. We need to put it down on paper. Okay, our brain works differently that way. So beside each obligation, okay, it doesn't matter whether it's work or pleasure, I want you to write down whether you're dreading it or looking forward to it. Okay, then I want you to prioritize. So if it's something for work that you've already gotten paid for, and it's like you have to go because it's part of your job. So we left off saying, I want you to write down your social obligations for the holiday. And beside each of those obligations, I want you to write down whether you dread them, okay, or whether you're looking forward to them, and whether they're an urgent priority, such as something that you're being paid to do, that you're under contract for, or that, you know, you invited everyone to the party that you're going to host and, you know, you really can't back out. That kind of urgent priority, you know what they are, I don't need to explain it, okay? And after you prioritize them, the ones that you must do, I mean must do, not opinionated must, but absolute commitment must, like I just outlined, okay? Take the ones that are not urgent high priorities and see which ones you dread and which ones you look forward to, okay? The ones you're looking forward to, I want you to look on your calendar and see if you feel good fitting them in on your calendar. See if you're gonna have some flow, okay? And if you do, and you feel great about it, and nothing else is going to suffer to cause you more stress, then you keep them on your calendar. But you must write them in your calendar, put a little happy face beside them or a heart or something to remind you that you feel good about it. Now you want to go back to the obligations that you have that you're not looking forward to, that are not urgent high priority, but it's something you've committed to, probably reacted, probably said yes to because you didn't want the person to get mad, so you're a people pleaser like I've been guilty of, okay, and still am. But on those, I'm asking you to write down why you dread them and what's possible here to free you up so you can be committed to what's really important. Because I, for one, know after the hills and valleys, the crests and troughs of what I've navigated in my own life these past couple of years, and believe you me, it hasn't been easy, but I've learned an awful lot. And one of them is how to feel better as I go along in my life. And how that when I don't compromise myself feeling balanced and lined up, when I stay in the flow of what feels good for me, my health is better, my work productivity is better, my family life is better, I look better, everything's better. Like, I like life a lot.